with you, and we hope we can do it again sometime soon.
Right. We thought you might be interested in a copy of the interview that we did with S.D. Clark a couple of summers ago, and we apologize for the lighting and the quality of it. Professor Clark was a bit dubious about having the camera in the room, and Dorothy had to work from the sidelines, but anyway, we got some of his comments on the audio, which I think you'll be able to pick up, and toward the end the video improves a bit, so we thought you might be interested in this, so we're sending it along, and again our best wishes for a happy summer.
All the best. Have fun.
Bye.
Bye now.
Without 1905 from Beeford area in Ontario here. And without arrived in Edmonton, got a job in the coal mine, worked for half a day, and that was how he had it. In down Homestead in northern area. And on a quarter section, and bought another quarter. He moved to a much larger farm in 1920. But he farmed until he finally retired. And my brother took over the farm. And he became well known in Westminster. He was the director, in fact, he was president of the Co-op Association.
Oh yeah. What was his first name?
Oh, Mel.
Mel.
Mel. He died in 1976. My sister still lived on the farm, on the original farm after 1920, not the original homestead.
So you would have attended the traditional one-room country school?
I went to the Durness School. Was the only one who passed grade 8, got to grade 8, and went on to high school. I was the only person out of that, young person out of that district who went on to high school. And then I was the only one from that district who went to university. And for a number of years afterwards, I was very interested to discover that.
That raises an interesting point, I guess. Why do you think? What attracted you down that course, or how did you come to take the course toward?
The simple answer to that is that I had an older brother, the one who inherited the farm, and at that time it was a small farm. We had a hired man. So between my father and the hired man and my older brother, they were able to do the work outside. My sister didn't come along for another 6 years after me. And so I became my mother's helper. And now the curious thing is I never really learned how to cook, wash dishes, and that sort of thing. But I think that that sort of steered me away from farming. And so that the only thing I could do was go to school. I kept on going to school.
So was there an attraction to the literature? Were you a bookworm? And
Oh yes. No. Right from the very beginning, or I say right from the beginning, certainly before I finished public school, I very much taken to history. I took my grade 9 in this one-room school during S. And that was when I really got excited about history, ancient history. Then, of course, after grade 9, I went to the Westminster High School. I have a picture of it downstairs. 4 rooms,
have been the one before what is now called the Meridian School.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was torn down. Oh, it was, I don't know when it was torn down, but certainly it was my day, that's the 1920s. And so I had 3 years in Westminster High School, boarding with my grandmother, who lived in Westminster.
So did you have any teachers that influenced you or inspired you, or was this more or less your own interest?
No, I think I'd speak very highly of at least 3 of my teachers. One was a teacher in history. Don't ask me, I knew the name of 2. But the teacher in history went on to teach the collegiate in Regina. He had a certain way of presenting history. Then the curious thing is that the principal of the school was a woman. It was Miss Kane. And she certainly encouraged me to go on. I've forgotten, and I can't remember what her discipline was. Then the science teacher was a graduate of the University of Saskatchewan. So here I was between the University of Saskatchewan and the University of Alberta. And he was promoting Saskatchewan. And my decision finally was made because I could understand the University of Saskatchewan calendar and I couldn't understand the University of Alberta calendar. So I went to the University of Saskatchewan. And there were 2 of us. Bill Leonard, a name that you may run across in Lloyd. They lived in Lloyd. His mother, he died just a few years ago. The 2 of us went to university. The first 2 from the Lloydminster area, who ever went to university.
Oh, yeah. So you were a high school student in Lloydminster in the 1920s.
Yeah, it will be 1923 to 1927.
So what sort of community was Lloydminster at that time, and what did high school students do in the mid-20s in Lloydminster?
There's a difference between the town high school students and the country bumpkins. And the kind of things that the town boys did, particularly playing pool, is something I never did. But as far as recreation is concerned, I find it a little difficult to say really what we did in the way of recreation. Nothing very exciting.
And the community itself, there would have been a few automobiles coming in by that time, and
Oh yes.
but still lots of horse-drawn vehicles, I guess.
Dirt streets, dusty streets. I guess the town was about 1,200, 1,500 people. And the most famous institution, well, you know about that, don't you? You know about the fire in 1928?
28 or 29, yes.
The town changed in character after the fire. I suppose one of the central sort of centers of the town was W.L. Cameron's store. I was just talking to my wife about it a couple days ago. Because it disappeared before the town. And he retired in Edmonton. But it shifted the town a bit, not like it is today. It shifted it more to across where the post office that goes across from
50th and 50th. Yeah.
It's that 50th one. Names don't, or numbers don't mean names.
No, I know what you mean.
It wasn't a very exciting town. It had a movie.
That would be before the talkies came in. I guess the talkies were late 20s, so it would have been
That's right.
silent films.
I think the talkies. After I went to university, was when the talkies came in, I think. These were Charlie Chaplin.
Mm. Was the piano player? Did the local piano player?
Oh, goodness.
Well, certainly interesting you're talking about the decision between the University of Alberta and the University of Saskatchewan, and this is something that our present students are very much involved in, and we instructors, we do counseling of students, and your comment about the calendars was very interesting, because sometimes I say to them, if you can figure out the calendar and plan your program, that's more difficult than the work you'll be doing. But,
talk about the University of Alberta. My ambition was to become a doctor. And I guess I was in grade 11. And I went up to Edmonton with my father and I for the UFA convention. And I went up and keen on medicine, I went over to the University of Alberta. And knocked on the door, I'm not sure. But anyway, they provided me with what I suppose was a senior medical student who took me all through the medical faculty, the medical building. Came back to Lloyd Medicine and never mentioned medicine again. I was settled on medicine. I was very curious. It's kind of, looking back, I was very struck with the fact that just going around and looking and sawing up these bodies and so on, I didn't want medicine.
so you ended up at the University of Saskatchewan, and you were taking just a general BA there, or?
Well, yeah, that's another interesting thing, I suppose. We're talking about my career. There was a man in the Turness area who very much talked to my father about what I ought to do. And what I ought to do was do chartered accountancy. Saskatchewan had a BCom degree at that time. And you could take the BCom and you became an accountant. And this was the way to make money. And I went to university. I walked up to the desk to register in commerce. Said, no. It was history I loved, not that. And I registered for, and I took the BA, or the general arts course, whatever. And that first year, because I had to take chemistry, or I had to take a science, so I took chemistry. I had to take a language, which was French. And then I took the courses of my history. Not sure whether that year took two or just the one, and economics. And, well, in English. My program that first year was economics, history, English, chemistry, and French. And then I went on, of course, very much in history. And then with when Armour Figure Dawson came to Saskatchewan, that would probably be in my third year, I got very much involved in political science. And took my MA at Saskatchewan in history and political science.
And from the University of Saskatchewan, you carried on and went?
Well, by drift is the wrong word. But this was the Depression. Very much the Depression as far as the Western Canada is concerned. I can, incidentally, I could say, talking about Saskatoon, coming back from Montreal one summer, I stood on 2nd Avenue in the summertime, in the middle of the summer, and saw a car coming down the street. The car was absolutely dead. Anyway, the question you ask is, I went on to the University of Toronto. From having done my MA in Saskatchewan, registered in history. And I guess, like students of the 1960s, began to chafe a little bit. All this wasn't relevant to the present problems of unemployment and so on and so forth. But anyway, then I got the IOD fellowship, the overseas fellowship, at the end of 1 year at Toronto. I was over to Lund School of Economics, and there, of course, Lund School of Economics, I did political science and economic history were the two major. And at that time was a bit left wing in my. It was two great scholars. One was Lasky, who was a Marxist scholar, and the other was Toynbee. I'm sorry, I got that from Toynbee. His name is slipped my mind anyway. I did the year in Lund School of Economics. And then the way your career gets, or at those days certainly, I came back dead broke, no job, after a year at Lund School of Economics. And I don't want to make this too long a story. Got off the boat in Montreal, and a friend that I had loaned money to, I went around to see him to collect the money and gave me, or had left a check for me, which turned out to be NSF. But anyway, to kill time, I went up and saw, he'd been a student in sociology. So I went up and saw Carl Dawson, professor of sociology. And after talking to him for maybe an hour, he turned and said to me, "If you're as good as you say you are, you have a job here." I'm back now. The job was as a research assistant, not a professor. Well, I was as good as I told him, as I said I was. And so I came back, but now in sociology, not history. But this was the way of surviving. It wasn't a matter of choice. It was, I think I was paid $650 a year for those 2 years, which was pretty good pay. And so I did my MA, a second MA now, in sociology in those 2 years. And then came back to the University of Toronto, determined to get back, but not to history now. I've given up on history, but economic history and political science. And I did my PhD at Toronto, got a job, teaching job out at the University of Manitoba, teaching political science and sociology. My first love was political science. In fact, my way of surviving was sociology in a sense. During the course of the year, I was in correspondence with Professor Simpson, Professor of History at the University of Saskatchewan, and there was an opening in political science. So I was all set, and he was all set to go to the University of Saskatchewan and be a lecturer in political science. But the Professor Britnell, or George Britnell, who was a very good friend of mine, in economics, had a fight with the head of the Department of Economics, Swanson. And in order to keep Britnell, they gave him a separate department, which was political science, even though he wasn't a political scientist. And he remained a political scientist until Swanson finally retired. But that didn't get out of the job. So I came back here to Toronto, had a lecture in sociology, not in political science. So, sociologist ever since.
Right. So sociology was a relatively new discipline at that time?
In Canada. Yeah, oh, very much so. The only department was the one in McGill. And
is about the 1940s or getting toward the early 1940s.
Well, let me see now. I was at the University of Manitoba in 1936 to 1937, 38. And that was my first full-time appointment. I then graduated in 1930. My first appointment, full-time appointment, was 1937. 7 years living on fellowships or research assistantships or whatever. Living high on the land for 1 year with an IOD fellowship in Britain. Otherwise, just scraping by the last year I was at the University of Toronto as a graduate student. I got $400. And then on board 100, which didn't pay back for years. The year before that, I had a $500 fellowship. That's the kind of couldn't do very much on $500 even then.
So was your family back in the Lloydminster area able to contribute?
No. Not whatever. There's a depression there. And my younger brother was having a very hard time with it. And during those years.
Right.
No, I was very much on my own. But I survived. Survived by fellowships, not by, I didn't got this appointment in the University of Manitoba in 1937. And came back as a lecturer in sociology in 1938.
Right. Well, most of the people of my generation, so to speak, know you from your book Church and Sect in Society. Now, sort of toward the end of your career, looking back, what would you describe as some of your major contributions or your more important works along the way?
I guess there seems to be general agreement on. There have been a number of things written about me, too many things. One or two unfavorable, most of them favorable. But there seems to be general agreement that Church and Sect in Canada was my major work. The other book, that in some ways I think is better known, Movements of Political Protest in Canada. I think I would have said I found doing it more interesting than Church and Sect. Well, I'm not so sure about that. The other books I've done.
So if a student wanted to know more about S.D. Clark, you would recommend those two books written by yourself?
That depends what you mean, or what the student, how interested the student is. I suppose it was just one book, and they're going to a limited amount of reading. I would say the Development Canadian Community. Development Canadian Community. The first 5 chapters of it was the sort of introductory sections to my first book, well, my second book actually, The Social Development of Canada. And those introductory sections were taken out, and then a number of essays published by the University of Toronto with the Development Canadian Community. I think that probably gives them, if one wanted to say, read a book about 250 pages, or maybe less than 250 pages, get some, and that book actually was read. Most people who write about me, not like Harry Hiller, that's the book that they read, and that's the book they quote from. So that's the one I would have to say. In terms of, well, in fact, I was saying to my son, who's also a sociologist, who's just finishing a book, and worried about readership, sales. And I said, look, when I looked my reputation, and this he didn't agree with me, but my reputation was pretty much entirely based upon church and sect in Canada, and there are probably about 3 or 4 people in the country who have read that book. And, now, as I say, he immediately disagreed, but it wasn't until you got this sort of Marxist sort of move into sociology, and therefore an interest in history. And here was a sociologist who already had done work in history. So my reputation was at that point that people began to turn to my work in a rather major way, and written articles about the paper on the 2 books. Only one, this Hiller book, which was a very scholarly book. The other one was written by a Marxist, and I was condemned because I was a liberal.
So, sociology, or as you have suggested here, you're sometimes referred to as a historical sociologist. What do you see as that having contributed to Canadian scholarship or Canadian society generally? The ideas that you've produced over the years, what importance were they, in your opinion?
I think I would have to say not great. The kind of sociology that's caught on was not my kind of sociology. But there have been a few people, but people who haven't done a great deal. There's a sociologist in Bill. Duncan very much was, if you like, a disciple of mine. He was a sociologist in Toronto who went to New York. But the kind of thing I did, I don't think what was picked up in terms of historical was picked up by the Marxists. Now, the truth of the matter is that there's a lot the Marxists were doing that I agreed with. I didn't agree with the dogmatism of the Marxists. Fitting everything into the Marxist ideology and Marxist frameworks. But I suppose my answer would have to be in reflection here that the influence I had was carried over into this whole development that came out of the Marxist push in sociology, even though I was not a Marxist. And I mentioned this one book, Deborah Harrison. She was doing this book as a PhD thesis, started as a PhD thesis, and originally I was, well, she will come out, spend 2 or 3 hours with me. Gave me no hint whatsoever about her Marxist views. And it wasn't until the book came out that I became aware that all this time I spent with this lady, she was building up a case here against me, not to sort of explain my work. But,
is there anything from your Lloydminster years, if we could call them that, your youth and your upbringing that you see as part of your scholarly work, or that say might have caused you to reject the Marxist analysis? Any connection between your early life and your early perceptions and the ideas that eventually appear in your work?
Oh, well, I think you mentioned earlier the UFA. I grew up in the UFA. Bill Irving is one of my heroes. And so that I remain something of a socialist. In a way, in my life I was that United, but I'm a liberal. I vote for the Liberal Party. I don't, but I was brought up in CCF, or UFA. They became the CCF. So that I suppose what the answer to your question is that growing up, particularly growing up on the farm with all the kind of philosophy that grew out of those days of agrarianism, the UFA, the Henry Rice Wood, Hudson Bay Railway, free trade, all that was part of the philosophy of the West of the 1920s. Not conservative. Nobody voted conservative. In fact, I remember one election where the local, I think it was the local district, one conservative vote in the whole area.
Now, some people, like we've had a number of these political protest movements in the West, and some of them have had or been accused of having or sort of a religious cast to them, and your early work was on the church and sect in Canada. Have religious ideas played a role in your thoughts, or do you see yourself more as a secular scholar?
Oh, I think the answer very definitely is that religious beliefs are not figured at all in my ideas. I became an atheist when I was 12 years of age. Particularly, I could mention when I took an ancient history in grade 9. The Greeks could have all those gods, and maybe they were as right as we were with one God. But religion remained interest. Church and sect in Canada. One of the things that I remember in the story here in Toronto, and what he didn't like about church and sect in Canada, he thought it was some ways great work. Nowhere in that book did I give an indication that I believed in God. I was writing a book, Methodist, all the rest of it, and so I think in those terms, the answer is no. My father was a Presbyterian. We went to church. The minister would come out to the local school when I was a kid. I stopped going to church. My father's not I stopped going to church. It wasn't until the end. So that I wasn't brought up in a religious family. It was Presbyterian family. You don't say hell. You didn't work on Sunday. You didn't play cards on Sunday. I suppose religious in that sense.
And you continued your career. The rest of your career was at the University of Toronto.
Well, yes, with a number of goings and comings. I don't know whether you know my curriculum, but
You mentioned you were in California one year.
Yes, California and Berkeley, 1960. I was at Dartmouth College this spring term of 1967, which was the celebration of Canada's 100th birthday. I was at the University of Sussex for a year, simply as doing very little teaching in 1970. I was university for 2 years.